On a bright day, the planet Earth was buzzing with excitement. News had spread that the powerful Zalor Empire wanted to challenge humanity. This alien empire was known across the galaxy for its advanced technology and ruthless warriors. The Zalorians were tall, blue-skinned beings with sharp features and glowing eyes. They believed they were the best and that no other species could defeat them. The Zalor Emperor Zarnok had declared war during an intergalactic meeting. He stood proudly before all the races, a confident smile on his face. "Humans are weak," he boomed, his voice echoing in the grand hall. "We will easily defeat you in battle. You should surrender now and save yourselves from humiliation." The other alien species whispered among themselves. Many were curious and eager to see if the humans would accept this challenge. Some laughed, thinking it was a joke. After all, humans were just a small planet in the vast universe. They had made mistakes in the past and lost many battles, but they had also shown great courage. In the heart of Earth, a meeting was held. Commander Sarah Parker, a brave and skilled leader, stood at the front of the room. Her long brown hair fell over her shoulders, and her green eyes sparkled with determination. "We cannot back down," she said firmly. "We have faced challenges before, and we have always come out stronger. This is our chance to show the galaxy that we are not to be underestimated." The room filled with murmurs of agreement. Sarah's team was made up of the best soldiers and scientists. They all understood that this was a test of their strength and unity. If they accepted the challenge, they would have to prepare for war. But they also knew they had something the Zalorians didn't expect: human resilience. As the days passed, the humans worked hard to gather information about the Zalor Empire. They studied their technology, tactics, and battle strategies. Sarah led training sessions, pushing her team to their limits. Each soldier understood the importance of this challenge. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for the future of Earth. In a secret meeting, Sarah revealed her plan. "We must not let them see us as weak. We will show them our hidden strength," she explained. She described a strategy that would surprise the Zalorians. "We have been building our technology quietly. We have weapons they cannot imagine," she added with a confident smile. Her team listened carefully. They knew that the Zalorians thought humans were no match for them. But Sarah believed that this was the perfect opportunity to prove them wrong. "We will accept their challenge, but on our terms," she said, her voice strong. Finally, the day arrived for humanity to respond to the Zalor Empire. A great crowd gathered in the main square of every city on Earth. People from all walks of life were there: soldiers, scientists, and civilians. Everyone wanted to see what would happen next. The news channels broadcast live updates, and millions watched in anticipation. Sarah stood before the crowd, her heart racing. She could feel the weight of their expectations on her shoulders. Taking a deep breath, she spoke into the microphone. "Today we stand united as one human race. The Zalor Empire has challenged us, and we will not back down. We accept their challenge, and we will show them the true spirit of humanity." Cheers erupted from the crowd. People waved flags, shouted slogans, and many felt a surge of pride. They believed in Sarah and her team. They believed that humanity had a chance to win. As Sarah stepped back, a sense of calm washed over her. She knew that accepting this challenge was just the beginning. But she also understood that they were ready. They would fight with everything they had. The Zalor Empire would soon learn that humanity was not as weak as they thought. In the shadows of the universe, the Zalorians prepared for battle. They had no idea what was coming. This was more than a challenge. It was a test of strength, courage, and determination. The stage was set for an epic confrontation, and the outcome was uncertain. But one thing was clear: humanity was ready to fight back and show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. The atmosphere on Earth was electric. After Commander Sarah Parker accepted the challenge from the Zalor Empire, the entire planet buzzed with energy and determination. People were anxious but hopeful. Behind the scenes, however, a secret was brewing that would change everything. In a hidden military base located deep in the mountains, Sarah and her team gathered to prepare for the battle ahead. The walls were covered in blueprints and models of ships, weapons, and technology that few had ever seen. The humans had worked quietly for years, developing advanced technology that they had kept hidden from the rest of the galaxy. They were not as weak as the Zalorians believed. Sarah stood at the front of the room, her heart pounding with excitement and fear. "We have something the Zalorians don't expect," she announced to her team. "While they think we are just ordinary humans, we have been secretly building our military strength. Now it is time to reveal our hidden assets." The team exchanged glances, their eyes wide with anticipation. They knew that Sarah was about to unveil the future of humanity's defense. She pointed to a large screen on the wall, and images of sleek, advanced ships filled the room. These were not the old spacecraft that humans had used in the past. They were much more powerful, equipped with new technology and weapons that could rival anything the Zalorians had. "Meet the Falcon-class's ships," Sarah said with pride. "These ships can move faster than any known vessel, and they are armed with plasma cannons that can disable even the most advanced alien technology. We've also developed stealth technology, allowing us to hide our ships from the Zalorian sensors." Cheers erupted in the room as her team realized the power they now held. They were not the underdogs, they had a real chance to win, Sarah continued, but it's not just about technology. It's our creativity and teamwork that will give us an edge in this battle. Over the next few days, Sarah led her team in rigorous training sessions. They practiced flying the new ships, working together to improve their coordination and tactics. Every soldier pushed themselves to their limits, motivated by the thought of defending their home and proving the Zalorians wrong. They felt a sense of unity that they had never experienced before. Meanwhile, the Zalor Empire was preparing for the upcoming battle, unaware of the humans' hidden strengths. Emperor Zarnok was confident that his forces would crush the humans easily. "They are nothing," he said to his commanders, his voice dripping with disdain. "We will show them what true power looks like." Back on Earth, the tension was rising. Every day, the humans conducted simulations of the upcoming battle. They analyzed the Zalorian tactics and developed counter-strategies. Sarah worked closely with her scientists to ensure that they had every advantage. "Knowledge is our greatest weapon," she often reminded her team. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a brilliant orange, Sarah gathered her team for an important meeting. She could see the determination in their eyes, and it filled her with hope. "We must remember why we are fighting," she began. "This is not just a challenge. It's about our future and the future of all humankind. We cannot let the Zalorians define us. We will show them our true strength." With each passing day, their confidence grew. They knew they had a chance to prove themselves, not just to the Zalorians, but to the entire galaxy. The time for the battle was drawing near, and every member of Sarah's team was ready to fight. They were not just ordinary humans, they were fighters, innovators, and defenders of their home. The day of the battle arrived, and the humans were prepared. As they boarded their advanced ships, the sound of engines roared like thunder. Sarah took a deep breath, knowing that they were ready to face their greatest challenge. They were going to show the Zalorians that humanity was not weak. They had hidden strengths that would soon be revealed. With determination in their hearts and hope in their minds, humanity prepared to face the Zalor Empire. The stage was set for an epic clash, and the galaxy would soon witness the true power of the human spirit. The Zalorians had underestimated them, and soon they would pay the price. Humanity was ready to rise, ready to fight, and ready to win. The day of the battle had finally arrived. The skies over Earth were clear, but the tension was thick in the air. In the hidden military base, Commander Sarah Parker stood in front of her team, her heart racing. "Today, we will show the Zalor Empire that we are not to be underestimated," she said, her voice steady. "We will make the first strike and take them by surprise." Her team nodded, determination written on their faces. They knew this was their moment. As they boarded their Falcon-class ships, excitement mixed with nervousness. Each pilot felt the weight of their mission. They were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting for all of humanity. The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, Sarah's heart pounded in her chest. 2, 1, launch! With a roar, the ships blasted off into the sky, leaving trails of smoke behind them. They soared into space, heading towards the location where the Zalorians were preparing their forces. As they approached the Zalor fleet, the sight was daunting. Massive ships floated in formation, their dark hulls glinting ominously in the distant sun. Sarah could see the alien warriors moving about, their confidence evident. But they had no idea what was coming. "Stay focused, everyone," Sarah called over the comms. "We'll engage in a surprise attack. We'll hit them hard and fast." Her voice was clear and full of purpose. The pilots responded with enthusiastic affirmations. With a swift motion, Sarah led the formation of ships towards the enemy. As they got closer, she ordered the first wave to fire their plasma cannons. Bright beams of energy shot from the Falcon-class ships, striking the Zilor vessels. The explosions lit up the darkness of space like fireworks, sending shockwaves through the enemy fleet. Chaos erupted among the Zilorians. Their ships, caught off guard, began to respond. Alarms blared and bright red lights flashed across their control panels. "What is happening?" Emperor Zarnok shouted, fury in his voice. "Defend our ships! Launch the counterattack!" But the humans were ready. They flew with speed and precision, weaving between enemy fire. Sarah commanded her pilots to work together, using their new tactics to confuse and outmaneuver the Zilorians. Each time an enemy ship fired, the humans were already one step ahead, dodging and returning fire with deadly accuracy. "Excellent work! Keep it up!" Sarah cheered through the comms, her heart swelling with pride. She could see the tide of the battle beginning to shift in their favor. The Zilorians were not used to such fierce resistance from humans. They had expected an easy victory, but instead they faced unexpected determination. As the battle raged on, Sarah noticed a group of Zilor ships regrouping for a counterattack. They were trying to form a tight formation, which would make them harder to hit. "We need to split them up," she yelled to her team. "Target the leading ship!" With a flurry of coordinated maneuvers, the humans focused their fire on the lead Zilor vessel. Plasma beams struck the ship, causing it to shudder violently. Within moments, it erupted in a massive explosion, sending debris flying in all directions. The remaining Zilorian ships hesitated, their confidence shaken. The humans took advantage of this moment. They launched a barrage of missiles, striking the Zilorian fleet with brutal force. The sound of explosions filled the comms, and cheers erupted among the pilots. "We can do this! We can win!" they shouted, fueled by adrenaline and the thrill of battle. Just as victory seemed within reach, Sarah received a transmission from one of her scouts. "Commander, we have a larger Zilor ship approaching. It's massive." The urgency in the pilot's voice was clear. This was the Zilor flagship, the ultimate weapon of the Empire, and it was headed straight for them. "Everyone, regroup!" Sarah commanded. "We need to take it down before it reaches us." With a deep breath, she steered her ship towards the looming flagship, determination burning in her chest. The battle was far from over, but humanity had made a strong statement with their first strike. They had shown the Zilor Empire that they were not just a weak species to be toyed with. They were warriors, ready to fight and protect their home. As the Zilor flagship drew closer, Sarah and her team prepared for the fight of their lives. The outcome was still uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity would not back down. They were ready for whatever came next. The battle raged on in the depths of space. The Zilor flagship, a massive beast of metal and fire, loomed over the smaller human ships like a predator eyeing its prey. Commander Sarah Parker felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. Their initial strike had been a success, but now the tide was changing. The Zilorians were regrouping, and the air was thick with tension. "Everyone stay sharp," Sarah shouted over the comms, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "We've made them angry, and they're coming for us." The human pilots, adrenaline coursing through their veins, responded with determination. They had already accomplished more than anyone thought possible, but the Zilorian flagship was a different challenge altogether. As the flagship unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, Sarah ordered her team to spread out, using their agility to avoid the incoming fire. "Use evasive maneuvers," she commanded. "Don't let them lock onto you!" The humans weaved and dodged, their ships dancing among the stars. They were not only fighting for their lives, but also for the future of Earth. Meanwhile, on the Zilor flagship, Emperor Zarnok was furious. "How can a weak species like this resist us?" he bellowed, slamming his fist on the control panel. "Send out the dreadnoughts! Show them our true power!" The dreadnoughts were the Zilor Empire's most powerful warships, designed for total destruction. They were feared throughout the galaxy, and now they were on their way. Back in the heat of battle, Sarah and her team focused their fire on the flagship, hoping to weaken it before the dreadnoughts arrived. "Aim for the weapon ports," she shouted. "If we can disable their main guns, we'll have a chance." Plasma beams shot from the Falcon-class ships, striking the flagship's weapon ports. Explosions erupted as the Zilorian ship shook under the assault. But just as the humans seemed to gain an upper hand, the dreadnoughts appeared, dark silhouettes emerging from the shadows of the flagship. Each ship was massive and bristling with weapons. "Commander, we have incoming," a pilot warned, panic evident in his voice. The dreadnoughts are launching their attack. Sarah felt a rush of fear. The situation was escalating, and they needed to act fast. All ships, engage the dreadnoughts, she ordered. We can't let them overwhelm us. The human ships turned to face the new threat. The dreadnoughts unleashed a hail of energy blasts, and the humans fought back with everything they had. The battle became a chaotic dance of destruction, with ships weaving in and out of the explosions. Sarah's heart raced as she watched her team work together, displaying courage she had never seen before. But the dreadnoughts were powerful. They absorbed the human fire and retaliated with terrifying accuracy. One by one, human ships began to fall, caught in the crossfire. Sarah felt a wave of desperation wash over her. They were losing too many pilots too quickly. Focus on one dreadnought at a time, she yelled, trying to rally her team. We need to bring them down or we won't survive. As they concentrated their fire on a single dreadnought, a sense of unity washed over the human fleet. They were fighting for their families, their friends, and their planet. Every pilot knew what was at stake. With a surge of determination, they poured all their energy into the attack. The dreadnought took heavy damage, and just when it seemed like they might win, a devastating blast from another dreadnought struck Sarah's ship. Alarms blared as the ship shook violently. No! She cried, gripping the control panel. Stay focused. We can't give up. But just as hope seemed to fade, an unexpected ally emerged. A group of smaller human ships, hidden away in a nearby asteroid field, burst onto the scene. They were piloted by some of the best fighters on Earth, eager to join the battle. We heard your distress call, their leader announced. We're here to help. With renewed strength, Sarah rallied her forces. All ships, form up! We have reinforcements. She felt a spark of hope igniting within her. Together, they could turn the tide once more. The new human ships dove into the fray, joining the fight against the dreadnoughts. The battle became more chaotic, but also more focused. With their combined efforts, they began to gain the upper hand. But the Zalorians were relentless. The battle was far from over. And as more Zalor ships approached, Sarah knew they were in for the fight of their lives. She glanced at the chaos around her, seeing the determination in her team's eyes. They would not give up. They would fight, not just for themselves, but for every person on Earth. As the battle raged on, Sarah felt a fire burning inside her. They had come too far to back down now. With the odds against them, humanity would show the Zalor Empire that they were a force to be reckoned with. The true strength of humanity was about to be unleashed. The battle intensified as the dreadnoughts unleashed their fury on the human fleet. Sarah Parker's heart raced as she directed her remaining forces against the massive ships. The addition of reinforcements had given them a glimmer of hope, but the odds were still stacked against them. Stay sharp. We're not done yet, she shouted into the comms, trying to inspire her weary pilots. The skies of space were filled with chaos. Explosions lit up the darkness, and the sounds of laser fire echoed like thunder. Sarah could see her comrades flying bravely, but the dreadnoughts were relentless. Each massive ship seemed to absorb the humans' attacks, returning fire with brutal efficiency. She watched in horror as another human ship was engulfed in flames, spiraling out of control before disappearing into the void. Commander! The flagship is preparing to launch its final assault, a pilot warned, fear evident in his voice. Sarah knew they had to act fast. If they didn't disable the flagship soon, it would unleash devastation that could wipe out the entire fleet. Target the flagship, Sarah commanded, her voice steady. If we take it down, the rest of their fleet will follow. She felt the adrenaline surge through her as she plotted their next move. This was it, the moment they had been fighting for. The human ships regrouped, forming a tight formation around Sarah. They soared toward the Zalor flagship, their weapons primed and ready. As they approached, the flagship fired a volley of energy blasts, but the humans dodged with practiced skill. Now! Fire! Sarah yelled. A barrage of plasma beams struck the flagship, illuminating the darkness of space. The ship shook violently under the assault, and Sarah could see the damage piling up. But the flagship wasn't done yet. It began to charge its main weapon, a colossal energy beam that could obliterate everything in its path. We need to disable that weapon, Sarah shouted. All ships focus fire on the weapon ports. The pilots responded with fierce determination, directing all their firepower at the glowing weapon ports. The energy beam was building up and time was running out. Come on, Sarah urged as her ship shuddered under enemy fire. We can do this! They pressed on, their resolve stronger than the fear gripping their hearts. With one last surge, their combined fire struck true. The flagship erupted in a massive explosion, sending shockwaves rippling through space. As the flagship crumbled, the remaining Zalorian ships began to falter. Confusion spread among the enemy ranks. The humans had done the impossible. They had defeated the flagship. "Push forward," Sarah commanded. "Let's finish this!" The human pilots, fueled by a mix of fear and exhilaration, pressed the attack. The dreadnoughts, seeing their flagship destroyed, began to retreat. "They're breaking formation," a pilot exclaimed, his voice filled with disbelief. "We did it!" But just as victory seemed within reach, the Emperor Zarnok made a desperate decision. "Detonate the self-destruct," he commanded, his voice filled with rage. The remaining dreadnoughts began their countdown, preparing to take the humans with them in a final act of vengeance. "No!" Sarah cried out. "They can't do this!" She felt a surge of panic as she realized what was about to happen. The destruction of the dreadnoughts would create a chain reaction that could devastate the area, potentially destroying her entire fleet. "Everyone get out of here!" "Now!" she shouted, trying to rally her pilots. "We need to escape before it's too late." The humans turned their ships, desperate to flee the impending explosion. The countdown ticked down. 10, 9, 8. Sarah's heart raced as she pushed her ship to its limits. "Come on, come on!" she urged, watching as the distance between them and the dreadnoughts shrank. Just as the countdown reached 0, a blinding light filled the space around them. The dreadnoughts erupted in an enormous explosion, sending shockwaves through the area. Sarah felt her ship shudder violently as the force of the blast rocked her. But somehow they had made it out. As the dust settled, the remaining human ships regrouped, shaken but alive. They had faced the ultimate challenge and had come out on the other side. "Is everyone okay?" Sarah asked, her heart still racing. "Commander, we're all accounted for," one pilot replied, relief washing over his voice. The humans had won, but at a great cost. The battle had shown them the strength of their will, the power of unity, and the true spirit of humanity. As they drifted among the wreckage, Sarah felt a mix of pride and sorrow. They had faced the impossible, and though they had suffered losses, they had proven that humanity would not be easily defeated. The Zalor Empire had underestimated them, and now the galaxy would remember the day when humans rose against their invaders. As the remnants of the Zalor fleet scattered, Sarah gazed at the stars. They had fought hard, and today they had secured their place in the cosmos. The final consequence of the battle was clear. Humanity would rise to meet any challenge, and they would fight for their future no matter the odds.